as they wait for the lights to go out. The revs are building. Let's go racing.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now.
Howdy punters, and welcome to season 14 of Wheel to Wheel. Here we are, round 3 at the Green Hell for a whole 1 hour of endurance racing in the rain. Oh my god, it's blowing my mind what is going to happen in this race. Joining me to navigate us through this race is Adam V10, a very established driver here at Wheel to Wheel. How are you, Adam?
Yeah, thanks, Dodgy. I'm great, mate. Happy to be here. Happy to be watching from the commentary box because I don't envy these guys at the moment with the rain falling here slightly at, as you said, the Green Hell. But yeah, looking forward to the race and can't wait to get it started.
Yeah, God, no, I had a few laps around here earlier this week. The rain is a bit torturous on those curves. You hit them and you are straight into the fence. And there to show us how these guys artfully go into the fence nose first on visuals is Herbal Green Tea. How are you, Herbs?
Hey Dodgy, hey Adam. Yeah, it's going to be an intense race. So many corners, so many wet corners. It's going to be crazy.
That it is. And being that it's such a long track, we are not having quali this week. So Adam, if you maybe want to tell these guys they can kick it off, we're actually going to start the race in reverse leaderboard grid. So whoever's coming last in the leaderboard, which I'm going to guess might be a TDR driver if we're not careful, will be first off the grid.
Yeah, these guys are just getting in some last minute practice, but our host tonight, Dale, will surely kick it off very soon. And there is a lot of MR cars here tonight. I'm curious to see how they handle this track with so many corners, as Herb said. It's just such a long track with the rain. There's just so much concentration needed.
Yeah, and it is the new version of the track too. It's the endurance version where they cut a fair chunk out of the F1 layout and whack it in there. What's happening?
Yeah, the cars are lined up on the grid. We're waiting for the lights. There's a long hold here, but we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. The revs are building, and we're away.
Look at that. We have the Renault straight off the mark. It has got a bit of a jump, that thing.
Yeah, we've got a couple of guys at the back looking up the inside. Dragon goes for a move on Squiddy up there in 4th. He's lost a few places there, Squid, unfortunately.
Yeah, Squid hasn't had much practice this week. He has been thrown in by Tombo into that vet, but happily enough, as Div 1 should be, it has been pretty uneventful the first few corners.
Yeah, these guys know it's a long race. They've got an hour to go get through. They can't win the race in the first few corners, so they should all be driving smart and just making sure they get through this frantic start.
Yeah, I'm sure the Renault up the front is maybe going to be a little bit of a cork in the bottle for these guys for the first lap, as KZ makes a move up the inside of Squid. Zoo tries to get up there as well for 9th spot, but just misses out. Squid keeps his place in 9th. So they're all a bit of biff and barge back there already.
Oh, up ahead in 5th, we've got Nux, CCH and Dragon going 3 wide. Dragon's hit the fence. Oh, he's had to do some crisscross action on the steering wheel, but he's held it only just.
Yes, entering the Nord's Life is such a hard task at the best of times. Trying to do it 3 wide does not work.
Yeah, I think Dragon just hit the fence a little bit there, entering the Nordschleife, but he's managed to keep it on the black stuff, and he's still in a good position down there in 5th.
We've got Stefko still keeping pace out the front there, followed by Oil. I reckon Oil is going to be a chance tonight in that Supra.
So if we just jump on with 7th, we've got Corbin and Flossie going side by side, coming up to a very fast corner here. Who's going to back off, if any? Or they're going to try to go side by side here.
I can't believe Flossie
that
held
is
that.
Brilliant racing and brilliant respect there by the two of them. And now we've got Squiddy coming up the inside of both of them, but he's given KZ a nudge, which is giving him a boost, and that's pushed him past CCH.
Wow, that's a hell of a way to lose 3 spots right there.
Yeah, but going side by side through that corner between Corbin and Flossie, that's amazing driving there. I thought one of them was definitely off into the grass.
Yeah, it's especially being an MR, that McLaren dropping those wheels off to the side a little. I thought he was going to go, but he managed to hold it. Squid's got Corbin safely locked away there now. He has got a few cars line astern behind him. There's no gap forming yet between these guys. Dale's back in 12th at the moment in that Alpha. I would have thought he'd be a bit further up the pointy end, but he did start towards the back of the grid.
Yeah, he did start in the second last place, and I know from a bit of experience, I think he'll be just saving a bit of fuel. Oh, he's MCDC in front of him, he gets loose, and Dale had to back right off there.
It looks like up in 9th, Squid's had a bit of an incident. Corbin just got around him then. I think he hit a bit of a curb and went for a wobbly. But we still have DJ up the front, closely followed by Oil, Nux, and Goat and Dragon, all in a row. And Flossie is catching those boys really quick. I would not have expected to see a 6-car train through here at this stage of the game.
Oh, Goat's looking up the inside of Nux there for 3rd. But this track's a little bit narrow in places, so it is quite hard to pass in the Nordschleife section. Although Goat's got a fairly good run up this back section here. He's going side by side with Nux. That BMW is quite quick in a straight line, isn't it?
Yeah, it's surprising at the moment, especially with the Lambo. It can be quick in a straight line as well.
Yeah. And Goat's right on the back of DJ and Oil now, trying to find a way past.
I dare say Nux is driving to a number as well. That Lambo, while it can be quick, is damn atrocious on fuel. It's a shocker. And I'm sure Herbs can attest to that one.
I can.
But yeah, that's a hell of a long train starting to set up there as we go.
Oh no,
carousel.
DJ's around. DJ's around through the carousel. He didn't quite loop it all the way, but he did get sideways and onto the grass, and unfortunately he's managed to get back on track, but yeah, he's lost 5 positions there. 6 positions.
Yeah, look, for those drivers who haven't had much time on the track this week, in this rain, the 2 slipperiest parts of this track, in my opinion, especially in that Renault, are the 2 carousels. They're just, you can't treat them like you normally do.
So now that releases Oil My Blood, and I know from throughout the week Oil's been putting in a bit of practice and putting in some fairly good times.
Yep, he's getting a hand from Goat here. I think if these guys are clever, if Goat's in the quicker car, which I think he is to get up to the P2 after starting, I think it might have been 3rd or 4th last. Goat's got a stonker of a car there, so if he pushes Oil as much as he can, they might get a hefty lead on these guys and be able to stick together for the whole race.
Yeah, there is a couple of different strategies here, though. It's either you go all out and do, I think, 3 laps, or you do a bit of conserving on the fuel and do 4 laps. So these guys might be on different strategies, because Mountain Goat is really hurrying up oil here. He wants to get past so bad.
Yeah, that is quite the norm so far for this season with Wheel to Wheel. We have 12 drivers in each div, and we have 12 different cars in each div. Not only that, as you alluded to earlier, Adam, we have a lot of MRs.
Dragon's on the grass and he's around. Down there in 6 Herbs. I'm not sure if you caught that on stream. Maybe we might get a replay.
Yeah, jump to a replay and see what happens. Alright, come around the carousel. So far nothing, he's going for an overtake on Nux. He's on the outside and he's hitting the grass. Yeah, he's well. Yep. Unfortunate for Dragon.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dragon there, but still down there in 6, so it looks like the guys towards the back from Dal down there in 7th, just going a little bit slow, or maybe being held up a little bit.
And coming up the straight, Mountain Goat gave Oil a push all the way up that straight, so the guys are now 2.5 seconds in front of Nux.
Although now Goat was looking down the inside into the first corner, and he breaks a little deeper, makes that move stick on Oil. I think Oil knows that maybe Goat's a little bit quicker at the moment, so just let him go and do his own thing.
Flossie and Nux are going side by side there in 3rd and 4th, and Flossie takes Nux on the outside. Nice job, Flossie. KZ's up there with that Ford as well. I wouldn't have expected that to be handling the Nords too well. It's more your straight line car. I've never found the Ford's GTs to handle that well. But yeah, he seems to be making it work.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Loves those long straights, and will love that back straight, but the rest of the track I'm not too sure. But he's up there in 5th, so he's in a good position.
Let's have a quick look through. I'm just running through now, and all drivers are definitely on mediums. No one has tried to whack on a hard tyre, which is pretty much what I thought they'd be.
And just to give the viewers at home a run through of the tyre selection, it is only mediums and hards available. Is that correct, Dodgy?
Yes, that's right. So nothing is mandatory, but only those 2 are available.
The wet tyres, we should say, are available, but at the moment it's only spitting just a little bit, so enough for the medium tyres to handle it at the moment. But we're not expecting this rain to go anywhere, so...
Oh, Goat's off. He's now down to 4th if you want to catch a replay of Goat there, Herbs.
Oh, and he's got a bit of front damage as well.
Yeah, here we go. He's just overcooked it and fishtailed.
I have no doubt he'll catch back up and get back to the pointy end in that thing.
And that's the thing here, even though it's only spitting a little bit, if you stick your tyre on the ripple strip, or even on just a little bit on the grass, it's going to be a lot more wet than the track, and it can just spin you around. So drivers have to have maximum concentration.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of maximum concentration, we have had Stefko has dropped down again a couple of positions down to 10th, but we've got Squiddy coming in 12th back there, and he's 7 seconds behind Zoo in 11th, so I've got to assume that Squid had a bit of an off somewhere.
Yeah, just got to give a shout out to my team owner, Dale. He's kept it clean, and he started in second last. He's now up to 7th, so good work by Dale there.
Dale's got a lot to prove this season, and it's not about him being a driver, it's about the car he's in. He's been trying for seasons and seasons to get that car in wheel to wheel, and he's finally got it. He's going to make sure he rubs it in the face of those naysayers that have told him he can't have it for the last few seasons. Doing a great job of it too, I might add.
And we may have missed something up the front because Flossie, who started in last, is now leading the train around.
Yeah, and he was behind Nux, as we said at the start of this lap, so he's gone from 4th to 1st in this first quarter of the lap alone.
Yeah, it's quite possible that oil is just conserving fuel. We do know oil does love a alternate strategy to everyone else. he is a bit of a fuel and tyre whisperer, so
It's, believe it or not, he is not the best on tyres out there at the moment, which I know is a shock for most regulars of wheel-to-wheel to hear that. But yeah, that Supra is not doing him too many favours on tyre, but he has got a good amount of juice left. Oh, KZ and Nux in 3rd and 4th. We're going side by side. Looks like KZ's just taken the position.
And Goat snuck through as well. Nux just had to back off quite a lot there because it was offline.
I have no doubt he'll have a few choice words under his breath there, Nux. He's quite a competitive driver. He's a cruisy guy. Love him to death. A newcomer to wheel for was it last season? Last season and this season. But yeah, fiercely competitive. He loves a good race, and he's not a fan of people sticking noses where they don't belong. So not saying that's what happened with Goat then, I didn't quite see it, but he doesn't like letting people past either.
Yeah, we probably should stay on with Goat because he's right on the tail of KZ for 3rd. And that BMW I know likes the corners, and this Ford we know likes the straights, and they're in the section of the track that favours the BMW, so we'll see what he can do. KZ's making that Ford really wide.
You don't have to try hard. Actually, that
No.
BMW makes it look tiny, but those GTs are usually really, really wide. All he's got to do is, if KZ can hold him out till he gets past the small carousel, then he's pretty safe, but that's a big ask. Not far.
Yeah, I think even in the slip that BMW won't have the power to pull to get past that Ford.
Not sure if that was a glitch or just some quick thinking.
And they're right on the tail of oil now.
Be interesting to see if they can work together. From Goat, Flossie's a good 5 seconds in front, so they might need to give each other a bit of a tow.
Oil just got a little bit sideways out of the carousel, and that's allowed KZ to get past. And then Oil closes the door on Mountain Goat. Oh, and Mountain Goat gives Oil a big boost down the straight. And they're going to have to work together to catch that Ford, because even though Oil got the boost, that Ford is still pulling away with no slip assistance at all. Oh, now it's just slowly coming down.
Yep. And looks like Nux managed to get on the back of that one as well, so he's getting a helping hand from these guys.
Oh, they're going to come up. They're going to catch KZ right at the braking zone. They're going to try and make a move. No.
Yep, calm heads have prevailed through there. KZ, oops, someone's into the pit. That's Goat into the pit after 2 laps. And he was on mediums, I'm pretty sure.
MCDC into the pits as well.
So yeah, they don't have to run the hards, that's why. So they'll stay on mediums all the way through, these guys. you got, with fuel, if you're taking a fuel tank of fuel, you got about a 40-second wait in these pits, 42 seconds thereabouts. So maybe he's just come in to try and get an undercut on those first pit stoppers. He won't be punching in as much juice, and he's going to get a lighter run on that first batch of 3 laps for the tyre.
The Goat's just come out of the pits just in front of Squid, down there in 11th. Maybe we should run through the field and just introduce the drivers, although if we jump on with third, we've got Nux making a move on Oil, and he's got past quite easily there. I'm going to say by Oil's driving, he is driving to a number and just conserving that fuel.
Yeah, Oil is a bit worse for wear on the tyres, but he's got more rear, but he's definitely got a bit more fuel than Nux as well. So judging from what I'm seeing here with Knuckles with his gear change, he is short shifting it a fair bit as well. But yeah, up to the front if you like, Adam, go for it.
Yeah, let's jump on with Flossie, currently leading the Div 1 Championship at the moment. He is driving the McLaren for Future Studios Racing. And if we go to second, we're on with KZ, who is the team owner for Scuderia Quadrifoglio. Season 2, the past 2 team champions, they've won it. So, yeah.
Did you have to remind us of that one? We see it enough.
Yeah.
Coming in at third is Knuckles in the Lambo, of all things. A bit of a tough car to try and drive for TDR Racing, sponsored by 180 Embroidery, and followed then by new team this year, Fangit Racing, with Oil in My Blood in the Toyota Supra.
Yeah, and down there in fifth, just behind Oil, is Super Dragon, who's stepping in for Suit Lad. So he's driving for Future Studios Racing tonight. And just down the road, 2 seconds behind him, we've got Dale Teeks, currently second in the championship. And he is driving the Alfa Romeo for the Damn Hexicans, sponsored by AMS Excavations.
Followed again there by another Scuderia Quadrifoglio driver in the AMG Merc, the new one, the 20 model. This is an awesome car. We've got CCH 199 Corbin, and he's probably the only one maybe in this div tonight without Tombo here that's on a controller, so he is going to be doing it tough on the tyres around here. After that, we have the second of the AMS Excavation guys, Damn Hexicans, in the Honda NSX, and that's Zuzu. That thing can be a bit of a handful as well.
Yeah, Zuzu stepping in for Seckers there tonight. Just behind him, we've got DJ Stefko driving that Renault, which is proving to be a bit of a handful, but he's driving for TDR, and they're sponsored by 180 Embroidery.
Yep.
And then just behind him, we've got Mountain Goat, the reigning Div 1 champion. He is driving for the new team, Fangit Racing, in that beautiful BMW.
Followed by Squiddy, we've got these two Drive 25 cars bringing up the rear at the moment. Tombo has opted out tonight. I think he was having nightmares about the green hell, so it was giving him the cold sweats. He's passed his ride on to MCDC in 12th, while Squid in 11th is there for Pup. So 2 sub-drivers filling in for those guys tonight.
Yeah, perfect timing as Squiddy puts on the blinker and lets his teammate pass. You know, he's on fresher tyres and there's no use fighting.
And meanwhile, back up the front now, we've gone through all that. We've got a 6.5 second lead from Flossie at the moment. So I'm going to suggest he's going to be in at the end of this lap. I don't think he's got enough juice to go again. So yeah, he is nailing it out there at the moment. The biggest test, I suppose, will be where Goat ends up when Flossie comes out of the pits.
Yeah, might just jump on with Dale Teeks there in 6th, as him and Oil in My Blood are going side by side. Oil doesn't make it too hard for Dale, and Dale gets past. Dale's looking quite good on his tyres and fuel. Just doing a good job in that Alpha.
And might I say, I think the Alpha has taken the top of the pops for liveries this season, Adam. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's one of your creations, is it not?
Yeah, we wanted to go a bit colourful, so yeah, we've gone the purple, pink, yellow combination.
Yeah, it works well. You've faded that in really well. It's an awesome looking livery. Pulling out of it.
I've just jumped on with Squid at the back, and it looks like he's just had an off, so we might get a replay if that's possible, Herbs. He's got front damage, which is just cleared some.
No, I didn't catch it in time.
Yeah, unfortunately, Squiddy obviously hasn't had much practice this season, just filling in tonight. He's picked one hell of a track to say yes to.
Back in ninth position, we've got Goat coming up to challenge Stefko for that position. He's caught up pretty quick and he wants to make his way to the front by any means possible. Be interesting to see how quickly he gets past Stefko.
Oh, it just gives him a little tap there, just says, hey, Stefko, I'm here. Oh, and they're going to go side by side through this right-hander. Goat has to back out.
Stefko's got to be careful. Those rear tyres of his, the rear right, he hasn't got much left on that, so he'd want to be careful.
Yeah, Stefko's not making it easy for Goat, and he doesn't have to. This is still a race for position. Oh no, Steph goes onto the grass. He's rubbing up against Armco. Can he keep yeah, he keeps it straight. Just gives a flash of the lights to Goat. Probably not happy there because he did get a little bump from Goat. I don't know if that pushed him off, but yeah, I don't think DJ was too happy there.
No, especially coming around onto that last bend. One little tap there will put you into the fence. And on this track too, with all the water, dirty tyres are a real thing. If you go off, it's so hard to take the next couple of corners. Luckily,
there we go. We've got a bunch of guys into the pits. Our leader is in the pits getting fuel. Looks like Dale Teeks is going for another lap. He's got the fuel to do it, and so is Oil. So going the long game here, they're going to do 4 laps instead of the 3. And our leader, Flossie's just coming out of the pits now, and Goat's just past him.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow. That was one hell of an undercut.
It is, but Goat is probably at, what would you say, about 55% fuel, whereas Flossie is almost at 100, so, and he's very close. Looks like Zuzu's going around again, and he's in the middle of these guys, Goat and Flossie. So he's going around for a 4th lap.
The 4th lap on those tyres, yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to make that one. Most of the MRs, if you sacrifice a bit of speed, will make it around this track for a fourth lap. It is quite a bit slower, but a lot of drivers are taking the attitude as well that in the long run it is safer. If you're trying to nail it around here for 8 laps solid, then there could be a lot of room for error.
Yeah, definitely have to play the smart game here, not go all out pace in those MR cars. But Flossie's just gone past Zoo. Zoo just pulled over and pretty much let him go. And those are on different strategies, so smart racing by Zuzu. So now we've got 2.4 seconds from Flossie to Mountain Goat. We'll see if Flossie can bring that gap down. And Goat has caught Corbin down there in third. Now Corbin's going around for a fourth lap. And knowing Corbin, I don't think he's going to make this pass very easy for Goat.
Goat's second purple at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get around these cars, what he can cook up. Oh, there he goes around the outside. Oh, wow.
Goat is just flirting with that grass, and I'm just waiting for him to catch it and spin, but God. He's a very confident young man in his driving abilities, and so he should be. He's a two-time Division 1 champion.
I think he can be in that car too. Scooter proved to us last season that the M6 was a pretty solid car, and it treated Scooter very well. I think Scooter was about third in Div 1 last season, maybe. So yeah, Goat to jump in that car now, I don't think there'd be anything you can't do with it. It looks like Oil is catching up to Dale a little. There's 1.3 now between them. They seem to be around about the same pace. Obviously trying to run to that time so they can get their one stopper in.
Yeah, just looking at I'm just on board with Dale. His tyres are getting a little bit slippery out now that they've worn down, and just having to slow up a little bit.
Yeah, Oil, honestly, if I didn't know any better...
Sorry, if we jump on with fifth. Flossie and Corbin's got together. Corbin's gone into the fence. I don't know if that... Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look. Yep, Flossie's going around the outside. Didn't work. Oh no. It's hard to see what happened there. It looked like a differential lockup. I'm not sure though.
Will it be one for the stewards?
Yeah. Yeah, hard to see what went on there.
No worries. Well, back in with Oil, like I was saying, he's only down to about half wear on his tyres. He could easily do another lap on these tyres, whereas Dale, he's looking rather red on his rears. So, yeah, Oil's definitely doing his tyre whisperer stuff.
So Goat is 9.6 seconds behind the leader. Has stopped once. Flossie 14.6 seconds. He's stopped once. And Dale and Oil, who are up front, have not stopped yet, but they will expect him in at the end of this lap.
Yeah, Flossie and Goat, basically everyone's got another stop to go yet. So for the boys who are only stopping once, they've got their stop, and there's no way Goat and Flossie can make it to the end, so they're going to have another stop. So they're probably on even footing about now. The boys in front are going to be a bit slower in the last half, so I'd be really worried about Goat and Flossie if I was those two.
Also puts the pressure on Mountain Goat and Flossie though, because they have to push to try and catch them.
Absolutely.
Maybe the boys up front, Dale and Oil, just hoping they make a few mistakes and lose a bit of time, and that might happen, but we'll see what happens towards the end of the race.
Yeah,
It'll be good. Yeah.
That Flossie gets tangled with Corbin again. It makes for good viewing. But honestly, no, hats off to Flossie. He's been around for a couple of seasons, but the last 2 seasons he has really, what could you say, come of age in wheel to wheel. He has just gone ahead, great guns. He had a great season in Div 1 last season. He's at top of the pops this season. Plus he did the GTSS as one of the top drivers for wheel to wheel in the off season. So he is just going from strength to strength, and I hope he's enjoying borrowing my McLaren.
Yeah, I think Flossie is very hungry for that Div 1 title, and he's definitely got the pace to take that out. So Yeah, since he's come back to GT7, he's just got so much pace. It's unbelievable. He must have gone and got some lessons somewhere.
Put him in VR, that'll slow him down.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back on the straight. Goat's managed to get almost 4.5 seconds purple on this lap so far. So he's probably just not enough to be in Oil's slip. No, Oil's just pulling away from him in that Supra, so unlucky, but I'm sure it won't take much to catch him. Oil will be pitting up here anyway.
I'm not sure if Oil had an issue because he was only 1 second away from Dow, and now he's 3 seconds, so not sure if he had a little slide somewhere, but yeah, Dow and Oil will be coming into the pits now, and that will give the lead to Mountain Goat.
It's probably going to pop him out somewhere around Zoo and Stefko is my bet. But those guys also have to stop again. Well, Stefko's going in now. Stefko actually went before. So this is when Stefko comes in, that'll be his one stop.
You sound a bit surprised there, the team captain of TDR.
Oh, yeah, well, the guys, a lot of them, I think, were still undecided even today, saying, what are we going to do? Which one's best? Do I take the safe route or do I just flog the hell out of it? Had it been me, I would have taken the safe route because I'm a bit of a wuss. But, you know, there's definitely some of the guys in there that would have just thrown caution to the wind and gone hell for leather. So that's put Goat in the lead now by, like I said, he's 5.5 ahead of Flossie. Be interesting to see where Flossie catches him on this lap because I don't really have a doubt that he will. He's on much fresher tyres, even though Goat has a lighter fuel load. And then there's a big jump back to KZ. KZ's 21 seconds behind the lead of Goat at the moment. But it's hard to determine whether KZ is on a 1 or 2 stop because his tyres are pretty fresh. And he's got just under through probably 2/3 of a tank. Not sure if that's enough to make it or not in the GT.
Yeah, quite achiever there, KZ, sitting there in third in the 4 GT. Yeah, I didn't quite see where he stopped on. So he did come on lap 4.
Yeah, judging by Knuckles behind him, they're on pretty close to the same fuel and tyres, so I'd say there's another stop because I'm pretty sure Knuckles looks like he's doing a 3.32. We've got Macca that he's been unstoppable, Macca, for someone who's been slowly coming up through the ranks of Div 3s in Div 2 now. That he was in the GTR last season, he's in it again for the first half of this season. That car and that driver just work. You cannot stop him. Macca loves that GTR and I'm pretty sure he's loving him back.
Yeah, Macca doing a great job. I'm sure Tombo will be very happy with where he's at the moment, up there in 5th. Doing Drive 25 proud. I'll give a shout out to the people watching in YouTube. We've got Just Kingston, Apex, Broken Spoke, Gimpman. So there's a few boys out there watching the race tonight. Pagani. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, look, I think there's a bit of strategy with the boys watching as well. They're trying to work out, again, which strat's working. You know, watch the Div 1 boys, they'll get it right. So we've got a good split here of guys doing a 1-stop, guys doing a 2-stop. So that's only going to help these guys watching in their later race tonight. And Goat's managed to increase his lead a bit actually. He's increased it by half a second. He's up to 6 seconds in front. So maybe I put the Moz on Flossie, you never know.
Yeah, so Goat will... Well, he'll be coming in on this lap and then doing 3 laps to the end.
That would be my guess, because he
Yeah.
did come in on lap 2.
So I think when Flossie pits on at the end of lap 6, he'll have more fuel than Goat, so they might be side by side as they come out of the pits, I reckon.
Could be. Flossie is not holding back at the moment. He's about 2 seconds blue at the moment, so he's improving on his fastest time yet. Probably because there's no traffic in front of him. If we've got anything happening back here, the top 5 seem to all be by themselves. Dale is catching up to Dragon by the look of it. There's only 2 seconds between those guys. And probably the closest on track I can see so far would be 10th and 11th. You've got Zoo and Stefko with 1.3 seconds between them. So just like this track always does to us, it is a driver's track. It's not really a spectator track, this one. You fall into that rhythm and you've just got to concentrate wholly and solely and floor it. There's not much room for close racing around here, and it is so hard to follow. So as usual, as happens every time we race here in a long race, they start to spread out.
Yeah, maybe we should turn up the rain and make it really spicy.
Good if you could do that. Get a real weather guy that go, yeah, make it rain harder now.
Yeah, that would be good. I think the drivers will all want to kill us, but it would be entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah, what are we looking at here? Goat is almost coming around. He's coming up to that last carousel soon, I think. Getting ready for that back straight. So he's almost got that 6 seconds again on Flossie. Which car is faster, do you reckon, Adam, on the straight? The McLaren or the BMW?
I've got to say the McLaren.
Yeah, I think it might be. So we'll see how he ends out. I mean, it's not enough to take that much of a dint out, but he might get a couple of tenths on him if he's lucky. And Goat has pushed it on the fuel too. He hasn't got much fuel left there.
No, it's probably going to be short shifting a little bit here, I'd say, just to make it to the pits.
Flossie's flashing his lights, hoping to get Goat to notice from that far ahead. I'm
Flossie trying
for you,
everything
that's what
here.
that says. Yeah, so he's managed to squeeze a couple of tenths out of him with that speed. And he's 3 seconds up on his fastest time too, Flossie. So no slouch, he wants to get this done.
Oh, Goat's out of fuel. Goat is out of fuel before the pit entry. He's losing a lot of time here.
Jeez, that must have chewed it. Wow.
Goat is out of fuel.
That straight would chew all that fuel.
Yeah, he had to. The fuel ran out even before the chicane onto the main straight there. So very slow entry, and just lost all that time. 6 seconds, I think it was, or 5.5 seconds to Flossie.
Yeah, that was a big loss for Flossie to catch him at pit entry. That's going to cost Goat dearly.
So Goat's in, MCDC's in. Goat is filling the tank. He's put in 92 litres on fresh mediums, so he's got 3 laps to go. So he's been doing 2-lap stints, so we'll see what times he can pull out on the 3-lap stints. And he's come out just behind Dragon in 5th position.
back in 11th. We've got DJ closing on Zoo. That Renault actually picked up a fair few tenths on that NSX on that straight. He got to within a second. So he's been floating around that 1.3, 1.4 second behind mark. So he's now up to 0.7, so it'll be an interesting lap for Stefko and Zoo here.
Yeah, and both of them with no more stops to make. Both on identical fuel and pretty much same tyres. So this is a straight fight for a position.
Good luck holding that one up for the next 3 laps. That's a long fight. That'd wear anyone out.
Yeah. And Goat's made his way past Super Dragon. Oh, Dragon with a big slide there.
So Dragon will be stopping at the end of this lap. He's he should have enough fuel to get that through. He's doing a great job tonight, Dragon, for being a ring-in. He hasn't really been on track since last season, and even his last few races last season, he was sort of he'd had enough. So it's good to see him back and doing so well, especially at such a hard track in a car that he's not used to driving.
Oh, and that's
sorry,
the
Dragon.
commentator's curse if I've ever seen it. Oh, and I was just about to say, I think he loves this track, so... Oh,
well.
but you're right.
Yeah.
You are right, though. He is doing a great job just jumping into the seat. Pretty cold on this Porsche, driving this the Nordschleife, the green hell.
But did we work out that Dale and Oil seem to be on the same strat? Because Dale and Oil, I thought, were pretty close at one stage, and now there's
Yeah,
like a 6 second gap between.
Something's must have happened there. So on the outlap, Dale did an 8:43, and Oil did an 8:47.
Wow. Yep, that'd do it. It could be fuel. Someone could have taken a bit more fuel.
Yeah.
Okay. We got closest these days. So Goat's got 17 seconds to catch up to Knuckles. Knuckles has another stop, but Goat doesn't. Does that sound about right? Yeah, Goat should be running a 3-lapper for the end of it. So yeah, Knuckles still a stop to go. So being that he's going to have to fuel and whatnot, that's going to drop Knuckles back a fair way behind Goat. KZ, again, he's going to end up behind Goat. He's going to have another stop. He hasn't got enough to do 3 laps there. And Flossie's to Goat, 42 seconds. He's pretty much exactly a stop ahead of Goat. So he needs to keep that where it is.
Yeah, so interestingly, Flossie and Goat, as I said, might come out side by side, and we'll have a fight to the finish, which will be very entertaining and might play into the hands of Dale Teeks, because I think Dale Teeks will be in third after KZ and Nux pit, although he may have to hold them off because they'll finish very fast because they won't have to save fuel. So we might be in a bit of a lull now, but coming to these after these few stops are made, I think we'll have a bit of action on our hands. So while that's we wait for that to happen, we might jump on to our sponsor commercials. Herbs, if you've got them there.
Yep, here we go.
I'm a gamer, a foodie,
A boss lady. I am sporty,
outdoorsy.
outspoken. I am fashion.
I'm old-fashioned,
What I am not.
It's the same.
but none of us are.
We are all individuals with unique interests, needs, and goals.
We believe that everyone should have the right to live the life they want for themselves.
Whether it be exploring the world,
dog walking,
or binge watching their favorite show.
So instead of searching for the things that we do the same,
let's champion the things that set us apart.
because we're not innovating for disabilities.
We're innovating for individuals.
Yeah, welcome back to the action. Firstly, let me thank our sponsors, Per Mobile, our title sponsor for Season 14, 180 Embroidery, AMS Excavation and Hybrid Ag. Thank you to those guys for allowing us to put those streams on for you week in, week out. And yeah, sponsoring a few teams. So thank you to our sponsors.
Yeah, we've just come back. Flossie's just come out of the pits. And there's Goat going around T1. Flossie has a 5.5 second lead coming out of the pits on Goat. So that's a lot of catching up for Goat to do. With Flossie now going hell for leather for the next 2 laps, I don't know if that's really within that BMW to get that done.
Yeah, I think Flossie's played the perfect strategy here because he's on fresh tyres. He can push for the last 2 laps. Goat, his tyres are a lap old. But we've seen Goat do some crazy things before, so it's not not impossible for Goat.
He can drive well too. And he is purple, I'll give him that. He was, I think he was about 400ths purple then, so he's not backing off at all, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we've got a fight for first and second between Flossie and Mountain Goat. And then we've got Dale's going to have a fight on his hands for to keep third place because KZ is only 4.8 seconds. He's just stopped for fresh tyres and can push to the end, where Dale is doing the 4 lap stint, so he's going to have to try and conserve tyres and fuel.
Yeah,
and then we've got Nux and Oil in My Blood as well. Oil, again, playing the long game and doing the 4 lap stints, where Nux is now able to push on fresh tyres, so...
I think that one's going to happen soon. I can see those tenths just falling between Nux and Oil at the moment. He's already down, was under a second. And I wouldn't be surprised if Oil steps to the side and just lets him pass when he finally gets there, because Oil will know he's not going to have much fight in those tyres. But in saying that too, he's not just going to get out of his own way. Yeah,
that's right. We should see Nux catch up to the back of Oil very quickly into some heavy braking zones on those fresh tyres. It's only 8/10 off Oil here, so I might just stick on with these guys because I think that's the closest battle so far. It is.
Although trying to catch that Supra, especially in the Lambo, is not easy to do. The Supra has been a pretty quick car the last couple of seasons, especially quick in a straight line. Can get a little twitchy now and then, but Oil's an old hand at that Supra, so he knows all its ins and outs, and I'm sure he can keep it on track.
Yeah, but he's got Nux right on the back of him now.
How long is he going to stay behind? I suppose Nux can always blame his team owner. Surely people aren't that stupid as to pick a Lamborghini for their team car, but there's always one.
Hey mate, Dodgy, I tip the hat to you for picking some of the cars that we don't normally see here at Wheel to Wheel, the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Renault.
Yeah, it's a bit different this season. We've tried to, we're MRs, and there's a couple of teams that are MRs for the entire season, and it's great to see. We rarely see it, unless we go a one make, we rarely see the MRs other than a Porsche in wheel to wheel, so it's just great to see, and it has created some awesome racing. Even in the GR4s, last week's race in GR4 was phenomenal for Div 1. All the cars have different strengths, whether it's fuel, tyre, handling. They're just all so different. You don't know who's going to end up where, and you know, even now watching this Lamborghini start to gobble up the Supra, it's just awesome to watch and see the different cars on track.
Yeah, speaking about gobbling up, Goat has brought down that 6-second gap to 2 seconds. So he is on fire at the moment.
Did Flossie have an error? Because that's a big get.
Yeah, we'll have to
see how purple he is. Because he was 4/100ths purple, Goat was at the first sector of the lap when I mentioned it before.
Oh, Nux has got a good run on Oil here, but coming up to the first carousel, there's just nowhere to pass for Nux at the moment.
And just, you don't have to go there, we can stay on this one, but Goat was in the red by a tenth, so I think Flossie must have had a bit of a error somewhere.
Yeah, and if he has, that's just put a whole heap of more pressure on Flossie. He would see that gap close really quickly and just be, sweating a little bit.
Makes up for running out of fuel. There you go. They've both had a 5-6 second error. What Nux really needs to do is make sure he can have the nose of that Lambo as far up the bum as that Supra as he can, coming out of that last corner onto the straight, and hopefully get some slip out of it up the straight, because I don't think the Lambo has quite got the power to outrun the Supra. It's gonna need a bit of a hand.
Yeah, 100% right there. And I think that's what Nux is thinking as well. Just be there in that slip and hopefully get the move made into the last few corners. And he can try and pull away. So we've got Flossie in first, we've got Mountain Goat chasing him down, and we've got Dale in third, and we've got KZ chasing Dale down. And we've got a fight for fifth between Oil and Nux. So there's a few little battles going on here.
Yeah, I'm just still on with Oil and Nux at the moment as they come through the second carousel. So they're coming up to the back straight. Nux isn't quite close enough at the moment to get slip off Oil. Oh, he's 0.4. Looks a bit longer on track, so there we go. We're on the straight. Has he got it? Yep. He's in the slip. He's starting to eat that up now. So maybe Nux will have oil by the end of it. Oh, that's a slow creep. That'd be painful sitting in that car, willing it to go faster. I'm going to say there's not enough to get out around it.
Wow, I thought the Lamborghini was a little bit faster than that.
No, it's not the quickest thing out there.
So it might be another frustrating lap around here, stuck behind oil for Nux.
Yeah. Well, it's his final lap. His tyres do look cherry, and he's got oil's a bit lighter on juice. He's going for the crisscross. And Nut just stayed on the outside there. He wants to try and get into front of oil before they hit Nords again. I don't like his chances, but he's going to give it a red hot go.
Just up ahead.
Oh, Nux is way on a bit wide.
I was just going to say, just up ahead, KZ has caught Dale Teeks. He's 8 tenths behind him at the moment. 1 lap to go. Can Dale make that Alpha as wide as possible?
Again, the tyres on that GT are looking pretty cherry as well. So, not that Dale knows that, but I'm sure KZ is definitely thinking I've got the tyres for
Oh,
this.
just jumping on with Nux in 6. He's trying to make a move into the chicane. Not going to happen. It was on the outside. Oh, tried to crisscross, but Oil just parked it up a little bit. Now he's trying to go wide and he's gone off into the dirt.
Oh, get on there, that's that one.
I don't know if there was a bit of door-to-door contact there between Oil and Nux. Might be one for the stewards to look at. But Nux has still got time. He's only 3.2 seconds off Oil. So he might still be able to make that position.
As long as he keeps his head about him and doesn't lose it with those dirty tyres, he should be right.
So we might jump on now with KZ in the 4GT Scuderia Quadrifoglio car, chasing down Dale.
And he's right there now.
I mean, all KZ has to do is make sure he's there at the last straight, and that 4GT will blow past that 4C. But knowing KZ, he'll probably just want to get around Dale as soon as possible.
It's not that easy. That little Alpha has got a bit of stick about it. It's quite pointy. Like I said, the GT's not famous for being quick in the winding part, but he seems to be doing a great job of sticking it there.
Just keeping you updated at the front. So the gap is still 2.6 seconds from Flossie to Goat.
Yeah, probably Flossie's to lose at the moment. They've both had a few errors. It's hard to pick. I'm still not willing to lean either way yet, even though it is the last lap.
Yeah, but they're probably only a minute into a 8-minute lap. Oh, maybe a bit longer. Sorry.
Nux is still he's caught up to Oil again. Nux has back in 6th. He's only 1.2 off, and he is pushing it. You can see it eating those seconds away.
Yeah, you might be seeing a bit of red mist in that helmet of Nux. He might be like, oh, push me off once. It's not going to happen again.
I think there's going to be 6-1, half dozen the other in that one. If there was a touch, it was like, well, if you're in that position as well, it's hard not to. under a second now, so he's going to give it a red hot go. KZ as well is under the second, so for third and fifth, they're the two biggest stoushes of the race at the moment, and they're still going on. Usually not a thing here at the Green Hell, but the way things are in wheel to wheel at the moment, we've got some really close racing after 8 laps here, and it is awesome.
Yeah, so Dale in the Alpha through the corners, as we expect. He's just pulling a little bit of time on KZ, but on the straights, KZ is eating it up. So Dale just has to try and make up a bit of time and make sure that KZ isn't in the slip on the last corner. That back straight. And then he might be able to hold off here for third.
Has the Alpha got the straight line speed over the GT, you reckon? You've driven the Alpha.
Oh, no, definitely not. That GT is probably one of the fastest cars in the straight line. And since Dale has... the fuel's looking pretty similar. Well, Dale's fuel light has just started flashing. Does he have enough to make it to the end? He's deep pushing a little bit too hard because KZ's right behind him. Something he'll have to think about.
Yep, definitely. He's probably where Goat was when Goat ran out of fuel. But I'm pretty sure the Alpha wouldn't use that amount of fuel down the straight that the BMW did. But in saying that, KZ's there. I'm surprised those lights aren't flashing. And now KZ's on flash for fuel as well.
And that gap at the front still 2.7 seconds now. So yeah, I think you're right in saying it's Flossie's to lose here. And Nux is caught up to the back of Oil.
Yeah, I think even catching Oil now might be an exercise in futility for Nux as he loses it. Nux has looped it. He's taken that grass, and the grass has said, hello, Merry Christmas, have some fun, and spin on the platter.
Might just jump on with KZ here as they're going to come onto this back straight very soon. Delteek's only 2-3 tenths in front. It's not enough. Still going to try and defend here any way possible, or
on this straight. I don't think it matters where you pick.
Yeah.
There he goes. He steps out, and that's enough.
And Flossie's just crossed the finish line. He was so far in front. Flossie takes out the win. Mountain Goat coming in second. Dale's got back into the slipstream of KZ here. And he's pulling on the GT. Oh, he pulls out.
Oh, You've got to give it a go. I'm glad none of them wiped out with that.
Yeah.
That could have gone tragic very quickly.
Oh, you have to give it a go. Yeah.
Yep. Well done,
there you
lads.
go.
That was some
KZ comes across the line in third. Delteek's in fourth. I think Dale will be very happy with fourth place.
Absolutely.
Oil My Blood's coming across the line for fifth. After that, hard fought few laps with Nux. As Nux crosses the line for sixth. And MCDC stepping in for Tombo comes across the line in a very respectable seventh. And Dragon in eighth. Just he's run out of fuel, but he's managed to cross the line in eighth.
I think there's been a couple just hit that fuel as they've crossed over that line. Honestly, though, if you had told me that a GT was going to be sitting in third at the end of 8 laps, I would have went, nah, you're having a laugh. It's not on.
As we jump on with Zuzu down there in ninth, coming across the line. Takes ninth place. DJ Stefko not too far behind for 10th. Corbin gets a bit sideways. He's doing a bit of fishtails down the straight. Comes across the line for 11th.
I would have thought that AMG was going to take this track a bit better. I know Corbin's on controller, and in the wet that can be a bit dangerous. But yeah, I'm a bit shocked with that AMG.
And we're on with Squiddy as he comes across the line in 12th, jumping in for CJS Pup tonight. Well done, Squid. And there we have it, our first Enduro of Season 14.
Wow, and thank God I'm not sitting through that for a Super Enduro. I think it'd just about do me in. But yeah, what a result there for Flossie. We've just gone over the minute. We've got a minute 4 there. An hour 4 minutes. So his best lap a 7:51. Goats topped the pops with a 7:50 for the fastest lap. But even those laps, like, you know, for this race at 8 laps, I would have thought most of them would be in the low 8s, high 7s. But these guys have just really, they've shown us how to do it tonight. They've done a great job.
Yeah, definitely. Big congratulations to Flossie. He'll extend his lead there at the top of Division 1. Mountain Goat taking out second, and KZ in that 4GT. He's done an amazing job tonight, taking out third.
Yeah, so possibly a better choice than Mustangs now going the GTs. Because I'm not sure a Mustang could have got third, even though the Mustang is a choice car last season and possibly this season. But gee, that GT, I'm very impressed with KZ's drive. Okay, well, I suppose we better get this thing wrapped up. There is another race happening in about 45 minutes, another 8 laps around Nords, around the Green Hell for Div 2, and that one is going to be flat chat as well. I think there's going to be action aplenty in that race. I can't wait to watch that one. What do we got next week, Adam? Are you all over that?
It is Watkins Glen in the Group 4s, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think that'll be a ball terror. I remember doing some trials and tests on that track, and everyone got in there, and there was some really close racing at that track. Judging by last week at infield A, sorry, and in the GR4s, I think the GR4s at Watkins is going to be phenomenal. Herbs, thank you very much for a great night.
Pleasure, guys.
As always. And Adam, again, thank you for jumping in. We were supposed to have Dragon here, but he got seconded into drive at the last minute. So cheers for that, Adam.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. And from all of us here, have a great night and enjoy the Div 2 race coming up. Cheers.